This is the Extra Point Podcast from Arizona's Family.
All right, it's just about June here. It is May 31st, so who's ready to talk some football? Who's ready to talk some college football? We got some game times today for the Fiesta Bowl and the Guaranteed Rate Bowl right here in the Valley of the Sun. Never a dull moment. We are the Valley of the Sports. Let's bring in Erik Moses, now the executive director of the Fiesta Bowl. Big announcements for you guys today, some fun on social media. How busy of a day was this for you making these announcements?
Well, look, we're excited to be back in the very middle of kind of the postseason and college football. It's such an exciting time in the evolution of college football. So every day is busy around here. We're every day working hard to make certain that we are supporting this community and communities across Arizona. And so always happy to be able to bring some good news about continuing the Fiesta Bowl and Guaranteed Rate Bowl legacies in the Valley of the Sun.
All right, so take us through the announcement today, the game times, how this sets up, and how you think it will. I'm going to ask you this about 40 times over the next couple months. What sort of matchup? Who's coming to town?
If I knew that, I would be in Vegas right now, placing bets and never having to work again. I have no idea, man. Things are moving so much, and as you well know, with the transfer portal, NIL, and all of these factors that are now affecting college football, it's hard to keep up with rosters. So I have no idea who's going to be great. I think the big boys who are always good will continue to be good. I predict that Georgia will continue to do Georgia things. And I think the Big Ten will continue to kind of assert their dominance throughout the year. But there'll be some surprises, just like we had last year with TCU.
No, certainly, and we had, in my opinion, the best bowl game of the entire lot last year with Michigan and TCU. Kickoff times here, it is January 1st at 11 a.m., and that's always kind of fun. We've had some really good matchups and gotten some fan bases out here. Notre Dame, Ohio State, that's one that comes to mind. That's kind of how much fun is it to ring in the new year and be kind of one of those first bowl games in 2024?
I think it's great. A great way to start the new year. College football brings so much passion for family and fun. And I can't think of a better way to get a new year started than watching a premier matchup right here in our backyards.
When you talk about just kind of the Big Six and remaining in that and remaining in the mix, as much as college football is changing, what does it mean to remain in that rotation there on New Year's Day?
Well, it's something that we certainly feel like we've earned. The 53 years of history that this bowl game has established, the fantastic finishes that we've had, the barn burners that all of us probably remember. I still remember Tommy Frazier and his 75-yard run against Florida with Nebraska back in the 90s. I think it's where we belong. I think it's where Arizona belongs. I think it's where the Fiesta Bowl belongs. And I think fans, at least the ones that I talk to who have come here, have enjoyed themselves no matter what year they've come and no matter what matchup they've seen. And we'll continue to be that destination and that community that supports college football like very few do.
And we actually have that clip in the room over from me right here in the Arizona's Family Archives. Tommy Frazier runs right by our news camera. We have to have you over here in studio and go pull that clip. And I'm just thinking about all the great moments in the Boise State play. And even last year, just all the fun we've had out here. Texas beating Ohio State in the final moments here. College football is changing a lot. How I guess crazy do you expect this year in college football to be from now until when you make an announcement about who's coming out here?
I think it will continue to be full of surprises. The conference realignment piece, I think, is not finished. You can read lots of rumors about what's happening in the Pac-12, what's happening in the Big 12. I think maybe the Big 10 and the SEC will be quiet for a while in terms of adding teams, but the others are scrambling. ACC, the Pac-12, and others looking at their media deals and trying to figure out how to do better. As you probably read, the ACC just worked out a new revenue distribution model that rewards success, quite frankly. And so I think there are going to continue to be very many moving pieces, especially as we move towards a suspended playoff for 2024, when we go from 4 teams to 12 playoff teams and literally create this tournament in pursuit of a national championship.
And how does it affect you in the short term with the arrangements that you have with conferences? What will that look like long term when we go to that tournament?
Well, the great thing for us is we, as part of one of the New Year's Six Bowls, we had been in this 3-year rotation where we were a playoff team every third year. This year is kind of the start of a new 3-year cycle where we will be a host game with 2 nationally ranked teams this year, but then after that, we're a playoff host every year. So in 2024, New Year's Eve, we will host the very first ever quarterfinal in college football postseason history. And then the following year in 2025 will be a semifinal again. And so all of our games moving forward after this year will be games of consequence. And by that, I mean they will be in pursuit of a national champion where our winner moves on to the next round.
And we just had the Super Bowl here. We have the Final Four coming to town. How much appetite is there right now, do you feel like, for bringing the national championship game back to the Valley and playing it in the Fiesta Bowl?
Well, we hunger for it, so we've got a pretty big appetite for it. I think the college football fans and sports fans in the Valley and in Arizona would love to see another national championship back here, and that's something that many of us throughout the Valley are looking to make happen in the hopefully not too distant future.
Well, we saw news today that the Cheez-It Bowl is no more, and for a while the Guaranteed Rate Bowl was the Cheez-It Bowl, and Guaranteed Rate has stepped up and done a great job with the game in the ballpark down at Chase Field in downtown Phoenix. So as far as that game goes, that will be on Tuesday, December the 26th at 7 p.m. Well, what's it mean to get that time slot at 7 p.m. Mountain Time? We've had it a little late before. I've been down there, and it's an interesting time of year because there's not as much going on, so there's a lot of eyes on that. But to have that time slot, and what's the conference affiliation look like there?
Big 12, Big 10, the only official kind of annual Big 12, Big 10 postseason matchup in the country. So we're pretty proud of that. Usually results in some really good matchups, and sometimes a lot of first-time matchups between those two conferences. Look, I think getting an hour earlier is great for us. For those that want to watch on television in other time zones, especially as they move farther east, I think it helps us a great deal. A day after Christmas, right? You've been in the house in the holidays with your family, cooped up for a while, having a great time, eating a lot, drinking a lot, being merry. We're the great opportunity to get you out of the house, have some fun. Downtown Phoenix, which is, I love, especially as a new resident of the Valley, I love downtown Phoenix. And then the uniqueness of being able to see a top-notch college football game played in a baseball stadium with a 100-yard field, grass field, and lots of excitements and the novelty around that. We think it makes for a fantastic way to kind of continue to celebrate the holidays with friends and family.
No, absolutely, and it's I've always enjoyed going in there, and you have the game ball being parachuted in with the roof open. As we move into this tournament play with quarterfinals, does the traditional bowl system how do bowl games like that survive and flourish?
It's a great question. And, the feedback that we have heard and the folks at Bowl Season, kind of the trade association that represents all 42 bowls, what they've told us is that the conferences and the member institutions want to maintain the same number of bowls. They want to make certain that as many of their member schools can qualify and participate in the postseason as possible. And so for many of those student athletes, those games are going to be the last time that they ever strap it up and play. And those communities all across our country look forward to welcoming those fans, those teams or coaches and others into their communities, not only for the economic impact, the positive economic impact that it brings, but also just to show those folks the hospitality and the uniqueness of these various bowl hosting communities across the country. Now nobody does hospitality like we do it here in the Valley, but each of them have their own brand of it and own version of it. And so I'm not certain what's going to happen. I think with an expanded field, we might see some attrition in terms of the number of bowl games across the country. But the way we hear it, the teams still like to play in them, the schools still like to get out, and student athletes still enjoy the participation.
And as you have conversations around college football, there seems to be so much uncertainty. So how much do you look at that as an opportunity to lead here?
Change begets opportunity. And those who are poised to take advantage of that, to move quickly and decisively, I think will benefit. That's certainly what we're trying to do here at the Fiesta Bowl organization, is to ensure that we can continue to be successful so that we can continue to pour back into the state of Arizona, whether it be through our Wishes for Teachers program or the football fields that we donate to public parks every year, or the community resource rooms that we help to rebuild, or the sport courts that we build at different parks throughout the state. We want to continue to be at the top of the food chain, if you will, so that we're able to take those dollars and the contributions that our residents and visitors make to support those football games and pour those again right back into the community.
All right, and I'm a big fan of the par 3 challenge as well. I don't know if I hit the green. I hit it over the green. I think I'm going to need to club down. I always get really excited about that. So if you want to see somebody try that covers sports to hit a golf ball and not get it close to the hole, I'm your guy. So you might want to come out next year and maybe you can take a swing for me.
Look, you gotta skip arm day, that week, right? You don't want to be firing it over the green. I played Mountain Shadows this past Saturday and had a great time. I can't wait for the Par 3 Challenge in October. It's going to be a fun time, and we're looking to turn up the fun on that tournament. It's unique. It is very well attended, sold out every year. People love it, and we're going to put the fun on 10 this year to make certain that everybody that comes out has a great time, has a chance to win great prizes, and if you're the one who can sink that hole in one, maybe you win $1 million.
Oh man, I don't think that's going to be me, but I'll try. Last thing, I mean, it's been kind of a whirlwind here since you came aboard in the bowl games and just the craziness of college football. So, what has the last year of your life been like moving here to the Valley of the Sun?
Well, I just got here in early January, so I'm about five and a half months in, loving it. I've been welcomed here with open arms. I like to say that the great thing about having 30 board members, 130 Yellow Jacket Committee members, and thousands of volunteers, ambassadors, and life members and life directors is that most rooms I go into in the Valley, either I know somebody or somebody knows me. And when you're new to a place, that helps a whole lot. And so people have been fantastic. They obviously love and care about this organization, these games, and view them as a community asset. The craziest thing I've heard, and I've heard it a number of times now, is I have met in the 5.5 months that I've lived here, I have met no less than 4 people who moved to Arizona and tied that move and relocation from someplace else in the country to coming to a Fiesta Bowl game.
Wow.
Came to a Fiesta Bowl game, went back to where they were from, and decided, we liked it out there, we're going to move out there. Think about that level of impact for a large-scale event. And so that's, 4 people I've heard that story from in 5.5 months. And frankly, that's just the tip of the iceberg in the way that this game, both of these games and this organization have and will continue to have impact on the state of Arizona.
No, certainly. I've actually heard that from a couple of different guys in NFL locker rooms who said they came out here for their college bowl game and stayed, and just how nice it was. So we appreciate your time tonight, taking time for us, throwing on the yellow jacket there, and look forward to. I mean, it's just around the corner, isn't it?
It is. It will be here before we know it. And, I walk around all the time with this yellow jacket on. I use it like a smoker's jacket.
There we go. We just rip off the sleeves here. It doesn't get that hot, I promise.
Yeah. No, it does, but it's dry heat. It's dry heat.
Awesome. It goes good at the pool. Hey, thanks for your time.
Appreciate you, man.
The Extra Point Podcast is a production of 3TV, CBS 5, and azfamily.com in Phoenix, Arizona.